Alrighty, Juanitosville, welcome back to Boom Jewelry Designs, Jewelry Adventures. I posted a picture on my jewelry group of a piece that I did, and people were like, wow, that bezel is pretty interesting. How did you do that? And it's a little bit easy and a little bit complicated at the same time. Sometimes it can be a little scary because you're working with your bezel and bezels and it's soldered down and blah, 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 because you never really for surely sure know how it's going to turn out. So I wanted to show you guys this awesome. I think this is going to be a perfect piece. I'm making a pendant. And if you look at this moonstone, friends, look at the translucence of the stone. You could see the black behind it. So this definitely has to have a open back, so you can put it up into the sun, look at it, try not to fry your retina. We're gonna do a castellated bezel, and let's get started. Heck yeah, boy. Alrighty, friends, we are gonna go here. We're gonna find out how long a length of a bezel we're gonna need. Now I have 18 gauge. I'm going to use 18 gauge for this because it's pretty big. And I think a thicker castellation around this bezel is going to make it look even saucier and bouncier. Here, let me show you guys how I do this. If you haven't seen my other videos, I'm terrible at math. I'm left-handed, and that's what I blame on my inability to be good at math. A little line, just as kind of like a starting point. And what I do is I put it on sandpaper because it doesn't slide around on me. And I started at 0 millimeters. And then I say, okay, and then I do a roll until that line goes back, and that looks like 110 millimeters. Geez, I don't even know how to use this stinking tool. Let's try it one more time just to make sure, because you know you want to get the law of averages to work on your side if possible. And that is back at 11, so we know we're at 11. Add 3 millimeters to whatever this is. So if this is 110 millimeters, I want to go to 113. So let's go 113 millimeters, friends. And guys, I got to tell you guys, I love these Sharpie. I used to have the ones with the little cap, fine point, but the cap is always, you know how it is. Nobody has time for that. Okay, right here, 113 mil, friends. Wait. Did I measure this right? Hold on. No, I didn't. It needs to be to 11. Ooh, buddies, almost look dumb in front of my friends. And then plus 13. So that would be, it'd be right here. I heard you guys out there in Juanitosville saying, Benny, no! Okay, guys, so I'm going to find out what the height of this stone is. And the way I do that, the way I do it, is I just basically go like this. And just see about where the slope of the stone, just enough to hug the stone. And I'm a little bit more material than less material because, you know, you don't want to be put in a predicament where you're wishing you never go to the barber and say, hey, add a little on the sides. It doesn't work that way, friends. Okay, we're just gonna give it the old score. Yeah, friends. Okay, psychological tactics. If you see me saw the last 5 millimeters or so, you feel like you watched the whole thing. I know what I'm doing. It's not my first rodeo. Here we go. Now, if you want to see how I'm going to castellate this, please watch episode 14, Making Castellated Bezels. I use the top jaws from Jim Brandvik. You can find Jim Brandvik on YouTube. I hope he's still selling these. I need to go look for myself. But if you want the information, it's right here, friends, and you can pause your video and see that. Here's what he suggests if you guys want to pause that. If you guys, minimum bezel thickness should be no less than 18 gauge. I don't agree. I've done 20 and I've done 22 and it works too. So depending on how rebel you want to get out there, you want to go rogue. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make this, turn this into a castellated bezel, and when you come back, you'll see it in its completed castellation glory. Line, I don't know if I've shown you guys that. See how that looks like a razor blade edge? But it's not too sharp, but it's kind of beveled. And I like to create that because I think it just makes it look so much more polished whenever it's all said and done. Let's see if this fits. We added 3 mil. We added 3 mil onto the 110 mil that it was. And because of these perpendicular lines, man, big words, friends, on this bezel, because it's 18 gauge, it kind of chops it down to like the fill of maybe a 20 gauge, maybe even less. Look at that, guys. We're pretty dang close. Oh yeah, I added 3 mil to account for the thickness of the 18 gauge, and it looks like I'm over about 1 mil. So I'm going to go ahead and take off 1 mil. All right, marvelous Marvin Haglers. This right here, I got it set. That is where it's going to connect. It's a little bit of a optical illusion. It looks like there's a gap there, but there really isn't. It's just the way the metal is kind of shaped in there. But I'm going to drop my solder right in there. All right, Juanitosville. Hey, Dad may have made our bikes in the basement out of a bunch of junk bikes, but hey, we're going to hit those ramps just as hard as all the kids that have the Walmart bikes. Remember when you were a kid and the rich kids had the cool bikes that when they got their bikes, they were all in one, it was one bike instead of like 5 different like junk bikes. Okay, we're going hard solder right here, guys. We might not have handle grips. We may even have a banana seat, guys. Hey. Everything is going our way. Everything is going our way. Who does that song? Santana. All right, guys, let's see how this looks. As you know, I like to put the seam not on the pointy end, but on the flat end as much as possible. That's just the way I was taught by Melanie Klein, master silversmith out of owner of Uray Silversmiths in Western Colorado. She is from the East Coast. Grew up, I believe, in Massachusetts. Melanie Klein. She's a character, man, and she's cool. So this looks a little high. I made it so that it would be a little bit high, so that I always had some material that if I want to take off. Stop. Collaborate and listen. Oh, the right stuff. Already, Juanitosville, we are here, and look at where we are. I reinforced that bevel because I did file it nice and flat. Not file, but sand, like this on sandpaper. I said, file that nice and flat to get a nice. I needed to learn how to do that more. On my last bezel, I didn't do that right before I set the stone, and there was a little divot that I didn't like. It wasn't a big deal, but you know, we're always trying to get better in our craft and look at the details. The next step right here is to think about the back plate. And I was thinking about doing 20 gauge, but I think I'm going to do 18 gauge. And I know, you know, when you're a poor kid, you're like, I don't want to waste. And what I'm going to do is, because this is a translucent stone, which means see-through, is I'm going to have an open back. So the back is going to be open. So you can put it up to the sun and get the energies. You feel what I'm saying? I'm loosely kind of designing this right now, because if this bezel doesn't, I don't need this bezel to be right in the middle. Well, I do as much as possible, but if it's a little bit off, because I'm not perfect. I know you guys think I'm perfect, but I'm not. Ta-da! Yeah, buddy. This is how it's gonna sit. So I think I'm going to do the cut out before I do the texturing. So we're gonna put the boom on this real quick. Oh, bam. And of course, you know what we have to do. Make sure that people don't think it's phony baloney. It's kind of what I know. All right. So next step is to cut out this middle. We're going to leave as much of this middle as possible so that I could use it for a bezel down the road. So I'm going to go just on the inside of the outside. I'm going to give it a little bit more than I normally do, just because lately I've been having a hard time getting my drill to go through, especially thicker metal. So try to give my drill a fighting chance by beating the beans out of it. In fact, that's a good fighting chance. In fact, that's a hole. All right, I might be able to fit a saw blade through that. You guys want to see if I can? When you do this and you hold your saw blade, your saw the way I hold it, you want the design facing up towards, not away from the handle. And then we're just gonna go to town. Ooh, almost got my finger. Gotta be careful, guys, especially at the end of your sawing. Make sure your fingers are out of the way. I've made that mistake more than once. It kind of ruins your vibes if you get what I'm picking up, what I'm putting down. Okay, friends, we're right here, and what I'm gonna do is solder this bezel onto this back plate. Typically, I don't cut this out, and I solder it with the back plate intact. And I'm thinking that maybe this, by taking this middle part out, it'll have less heat being sunk to the middle, and more. I'm hoping that the solder will run easier now that it's a smaller mass to heat up to get the solder to run. So I'm gonna do hard solder. We're gonna take this to the soldering block and get it prepped. So it's not, you know, perfect round yet, but once I get it soldered down, then I'll file it and fine tune it and get it where I want it. But normally I don't do it like this, but let's see if it works in our favor today. One more double check, friends, just to make sure, because you know how it is, man. You don't want to be out here trying to make your dreams come true and you're not double checking and triple checking. Somebody, one of your clients is going to say, I want one of those with the open back and the step bezel. And then you'll be like, I got you, man. I know what I'll be doing. Let's go medium solder. We're going to go medium solder. I was watching a bezel setting tutorial this morning, and yes, I watch tutorials, guys. Watch tutorials, guys. It keeps you fresh. It reminds you stuff that you forgot you knew. But every time I watch a tutorial, I learn a tip. I learn something. And it might not be about the bezels. It might just be about the way to hold the tool, or the way to use the tool, or where to put your tools. Or one, I was watching today, the dude, whenever he was done soldering his piece, actually quenched his tool. And I was like, that's a good habit to have. Get in the habit of quenching your tool so that you don't put it down like a dumb person like me and go like this and then say, oh, wow. Ah! 2 pieces of solder right here. We're going medium solder. Is it going to press down? We might have enough solder. Let's go. Okay, it's moved. It moved. Let's keep it moving. Keep it groovy like a drive-in movie, friends. We're touching it and taking the heat off. I don't feel confident about that corner. Let's get this hot again. Work on the outside. Work on the inside. Okay, I'm not sure I feel confident with that, but I could be mistaken. Okay, oh, nice seal right there. Nice seal right here in the front. Okay, looking around. What is it? I'm gonna believe in it, guys. I'm gonna believe in it. I'm not gonna kill it. I'm gonna believe in it. Man, I don't care how many times you do that. It never is really like the most comfortable part of making jewelry. I'll tell you that. It's all the way down. Meniscus all the way around, all the way on the inside. All right, Juanitosville, if you're a fan of the channel, you might know this already, but I haven't really talked about it a whole lot. Is this rubber block that I have right here. And I got this with my first probably jewelry kit that I bought on Amazon for like 90 bucks or something. And this came with it, and I still use it to this day because I like to use the side of my bench pin to file. But when I have this rubber solder block, I can actually use this as kind of like a bench pin in the fact that it grips it. Right? It grips it, and then I can still it holds it for like really good for a file. Really pressing on the push and letting up on the pull. So you don't clog up your file. Yeah. Yay. What I like to do on this back side, what I like to do is I'll get my file and I'll just give it a little softness. So I'll just kind of soften it. So let's move on to the next step here, and what do you guys think that's going to be? I can tell you right now it's going to have to do with texture. So let's move to the soldering block and let's make it happen rapid. All right, Juanitosville, welcome to the texturization portion of this video, brought to you by Benny Boom's favorite dessert, your favorite ice cream plus Cinnamon Toast Crunch plus banana slices plus walnuts plus a spoonful of peanut butter. Oh gosh, oh jeez. Okay, who's in the mood for some texture, friends? Let me tell you how I'm gonna do this. Okay, we are gonna do actually, yeah, let's do Chad Parker style. Bam, 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 bam. And then this is sawdust from cutting this and cutting the last few pieces that I've been cutting, and we're gonna use it. We're basically upcycling. Actually, let's put it right here. Can you guys see this? And then ooh, there's a nice little chunky right there. So I flux it first, guys, and fluxing it, just like I was talking about a little bit earlier, it kind of bonds, gives it a little bit of bondage. Is that the right word? Out and press it. Can you guys see that? Pressing it to the edge. You guys are with me? Let's make sure you guys are really with me. When you have it on your rotating table, it's important to have it as close to the middle as possible. Because if you have it on one side, then you're following around like this, like an idiot. Because believe me, I've done that. Learn from my pain, friends. I'm looking for looks like a shiny snow is how I know that the dust has bonded. Right now I'm just kind of just giving it overall heat, getting everything hot so that I can really start concentrating, and we're getting close, guys. See how that glow is? Okay, let's turn this up and let's just make this happen. Extreme heat, guys, to get this to really bond. You're gonna look at other pieces that are gonna get like kind of start acting goofy. The sterling silver pieces are gonna start acting a little goofy, but this stuff needs to be like a bed of just redness, just kind of melding together. And I look for, it's like shiny snow, and I can kind of see it. I'm gonna be on the light side of it, guys. I don't feel like that fused as hard as I normally make it fuse, but let's see as an experiment if that's enough. Okay, I just quenched it. I can't leave you out of this part. I expect to put my fingernail through this and some will crumple off. Yeah. So I'm not gonna let it crumple off. What I'm doing is I'm putting my fingernail into it and I'm pressing in and I'm digging it deeper into. I can feel it's kind of soft on the very, very tips. Just on the tip of my fingernail, I can feel. Alrighty, cats, moms and dads, pet lovers out there. I grabbed a little bit of my silver dust here, added a little extra. Let's fast forward through this part so you guys don't have to get bored. What I'm looking for, it's got to get hot, guys. I'm gonna let that cool off a little bit, and then we'll examine it. Alrighty, Wile E. Coyotes out there. This is where we're at, friends. I fused the crusties all around the edge here, and I'm pretty happy with it. I kind of did a little bit of cleanup with it. So one thing you have to know when you do this fusing, or any fusing, guys, is you're going to get the metal so hot that fire scale is going to happen. So just be ready to deal with that. What I did on the back right here is I just put it on my heavy file, and I just filed like the whole top layer. And also be aware that when you fuse, your back ends are not going to be as pretty as whenever you're just doing a traditional piece, because it gets so hot. I had it on my wire here, and it actually fused into the M on the boom. Like my wire was right here, and the metal got so hot it kind of melted into the steel, not melted into it. Yeah, I guess you can say that. Very lightly, but it's gonna be ugly before it's prettier. I'm about using some of this 12 gauge round wire, and I'm thinking about putting it back here like this, and then making like a loop, because this is going to be the loop that's going to hold the bale. So I need a small piece, I would guess about that long. So let's just believe in it, because life's too short to use math. Let's just go like that. Damn, friends. I know you type A's out there are probably going, no, measure it. But I'm type D minus. What I should have done before I did all that was probably hammer down the ends. Are you guys with me? Because I don't want to be like holding out on you guys. So I'm going to hold my finger there and then try not to smash it. What do you guys think about that? You guys think that's going to look cool? I do. All right. So we got this side nice and flat. We're going to sand that. Just get it clean. I have hard solder right here. And I am just going to put some hard solder just on these little, I guess you would call them pedestal type feet. So there we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. I have this little lift that I created out of copper. It's very malleable because it gets hot, so it's always kind of annealed. But I can bend it in a way that it holds pieces like in this exact circumstance, actually. I think we got a little friendly right there, guys. I think. We'll find out. I don't know, guys. I think we need to move it over that way a little bit. I don't want you guys to see me remove this so you guys can see if I screw up, then it'll be good entertainment. And if I pull it off, it'll be like I just won the championship. While I'm here, might as well just like move it over, you know what I'm saying? Let's see if we can do it all in one. Do we believe in ourselves, guys? Okay. Okay. Let's look at that. What that looks like. Ooh, that looks way better. We did it, guys. We did it. All right, Juanitosville. Hey, we might have the Michael Jackson jackets that have the zippers that are just for looks. All zippers don't have to lead to pockets, friends. Sometimes we have zippers just for looks. We're going to do I'm going to do a split shank style bale. And I'm guessing probably for a bale size, I probably need about 1.25 inches. Because it's going to bend around. So let's go 1.25 inches. So that'll be 2.5 inches. Should be, yeah, I think that's good enough. So what I'm going to do is, because we have the texture right here, is I'm going to texture this. I'm going to put some texture on this. But basically we're going right here. We just want some crusties. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit right here. There we go. Okay, I think we're good. We're going to believe in that. Okay, friends, this is where we're at, man. And I got to tell you, we're getting close. We're getting very, very close. So the next step right here would be to bend these for the bale. But I'm just bending it sideways just like this. Just like that. I can bend this one just a little bit more, I think. And then I think what I'll do is I'll file the insides of these. All right, so basically I just put this on my file and I just pulled it like that. And then I got the insides of these pretty flat together. So let's take this to the soldering block and solder those together. All right, guys, I wasn't going to show this, but I have to show this because I know this is going to help somebody out there. And maybe it can give me some feedback on maybe a better way that I can do it. But what I have right here, guys, is hard solder. I put a little thing of hard solder there, and a little right there. And then I have this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this halfway on the solder, like that. And then put this one, the other halfway on the solder, like that. And then I'm going to let them kind of meet up over the pellet or solder, just like that. And then I'm going to heat it from the top and pull that solder up that seam. Number 3 head, guys, I almost exclusively use a number 3 head. It's just what I know. Okay, that one worked. This one, that solder, I don't see it. I didn't see it come up, guys. This one, you guys saw that. I hope you did. And I'll zoom it. Whenever I edit this video, I'll have this part zoomed in so you guys can see that solder run up in there. All up in that business, you know what I'm saying? Don't burn the back of your hand, Benny, when you do this. Oh, there we go. There we go. That went. Okay, right in the middle. Let's look on the other side. It looks like it's good, but let's just, for good measure. Cool, we pulled it up and pulled it up into the seam by heating this side because the solder follows the heat. Be too short. Too short. Let's see. Oh my goodness, that's hard. That's not easy to bend, friends. There we go. Got a little pinchage. Okay, I'm going to file this a little bit skinnier right there and clean. And then I'm going to solder. Okay, friends, this is the final challenge here. We have this. It's not completely closed. I'm hoping that with the heat that I'll be able to use my tweezers and give it the old pinch right at the last second. Healthy piece of solder. And I hope this balls up and lands right into that mouth. Okay. Let's get sideways on this bad boy. I'm really looking at that ball of solder and it's starting to respond. But I yanked the heat away from it because I want to be able to pinch this just such. We are one. Not convinced, so I'm going to put a little tiny piece right here. Not there. Right here. Right in there, buddy. Right in there. Did we get it? Did we get it? Was that legit? I think we're legit, guys. I think we're legit. All right, headbangers and party animals out there. We have some 14 gauge round wire. This is the point where we do the step, make it a step bezel. So what we're going to do is kind of mock this. On the inside of this, we're going to make a ring. So I think that's probably enough. What I'm going to do is, in one that I've seen in the past, it wasn't even soldered together. It was just put on there. But I'm going to solder this together. And then this is going to be the floor of this bezel. Just like this. It's going to sit right in there. You can see the profile on it right there. See the profile on it on this side. This is the bail. This is the piece, guys. This is essentially what it's going to be. I hope you guys enjoyed the jewelry adventure just as much as I did. As always, if this had any value to you, please subscribe. I have Juanitosville merchandise, link in the description. Shout to Noble Art Dimensions. Shout to Inspiring Metalsmiths Jewelry Group on Facebook. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to join a really supportive jewelry group on Facebook. We have over close to 40,000 members, and I'm one of, I think, 6 admin. All right, friends. So, yeah, man. Thank you for another jewelry adventure. This is episode 53. And I've been making jewelry videos since February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Really going on 7 months. This is our 53rd video, so we're moving along, guys. I took a little bit of time off this summer to enjoy the outdoors and whatnot, but as it gets a little chillier here in beautiful western Colorado, I'll be probably in here more, doing more work, because it's going to be cold, and I'm going to be running in the cold. All right, friends, as always, thanks for joining us on the Jewelry Adventures. I'm Benny Boom. I'm out.